The first thing we need to notice between the other Dhamma and the Buddha Dhamma is the 8 jhanas are possible by anyone, but in the Buddha Dhamma, it is about understanding the reality by cutting off sensuality, number one, which will make a person an anagami, and then cutting the rupa and arupa jhana, which will then make him an arhat. So in the Sekha foundation, what Buddha is talking about is the 4 elements, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. When they come together, becomes Bhuta because of consciousness. And this Bhuta can take different form from Deva to Pajapati, Brahma, and then we go further into the Brahma realm. Then we come into Abhasara, Subhankina, Vehapala. These 4 represents the 4 Rupa jhanas. So the basic thing is, if we see, if we have manyana, we consider, we say this is how it is, then we can see that it keeps on moving. So the 3 kinds of dukkha can be seen. Dukkha, dukkha, sankhara dukkha, viparinama dukkha. So we can see all the 3 of them. Let's take Patavi as an example. Abhinya, if you were to see from a different perspective, you can watch that the Patavi slowly becomes Apo and it becomes Tejo, Vayu. How? We have already spoken over the ice as an example. So you can see it. That ice becomes water and becomes air and then goes into space, so you can really see it. Then if you talk about Deva or Bhuta, that's Bhuta means what has come together, how things have come together. So with consciousness, any matter it takes, just like we also spoke about tornado. So it's Bhuta. It's doing everything. It is causing calamities, or in fact, in Australia, Brisbane, supposed to have a cyclone, a huge one. So it is a Bhuta in that way. The only thing which is missing is a Vijnana, which can sense. Other than that, everything else is there. You just consider that as a Bhuta, just to correlate, not in exact sense. Then we are coming to the Deva realm, then into the Pajapati, Brahma, Abhasara, Subhankina, Vehapala, then the middle one, Abhibhu, then the 4 Arupa jhanas. And after that, we are coming into Hita, Sutta, Mutta, Vinyata, then Ekatta, Jnanatta, and Nibbana. And all these 24 of them, you can't stand on it. There's no standing. There's no standing ground. Even on Nibbana, there is no standing ground. So the Mula Pariyaya talks about there is no standing ground. You can't stand on it. So you have to understand through parinya, through investigation, you found out that there is no standing ground, and hence you don't manni, don't consider it to be like that. So to make things easier for the Brahma realm to the last one, you need to attempt all the jhanas and you need to experience all of them. Okay. And you would come to know that this is the first jhana, this is the second jhana, this is third jhana, this is fourth and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and the Nirodha Samapatti also. You'll come to see. So what I would like to cover up today is a very interesting section on Niramisasutta, because most important to understand the difference between sensuality and non-sensuality. We are already doing it in Hindi sessions, but anyway, it would be a repetition for those who have listened to it. But it is good to see that why and how the mind goes back to the sensuality, and why Buddha says that when the mind doesn't have anything to hold on to, it goes back to sensual. Its original home is sensuality. It can be in any realm. It doesn't matter whether it's a heavenly realm or a human realm or even a preta realm or whatever realm that can be found. Okay? Now, what is Niramisa and Samisa? This is not there in any tradition, any religious tradition, be it Christianity or Islam or Hinduism or whatever it is. It doesn't have. They don't have anything to understand about sensuality in two dimensions, as in Samisa and Niramisa. Samisa represents the something has got added, like wife or a husband or a son or a daughter or a house or a money or whatever. When it gets added, the consciousness takes that as a real subject object relationship, and hence it becomes Samisa. And if you want to use a Hindi word equivalent to that, Mishra means that's combined. Samishra means, or in Sanskrit, what has got merged, added. So, what has got added there? Raga, Dvesha, Moha has got added. That's all. There's nothing else which can get added. Niramisa is the one where nothing has got added. So, it is jhanic. And Niramisa, Niramisitara, he says, is pure. Okay. So, in this, Buddha talks about four kinds. One is Niramisa Sukha, Samisa Sukha, Niramisa Dukkha, Samisa Dukkha, Niramisa Upekha, Samisa Upekha, Niramisa Vimutti, Samisa Vimukti. Okay. There are four. Now, we also covered up on Samadhi Bhavana Sutta, where we said Aloka Sanya is required. In the same way, you need to have a greater knowledge of Samisa and Niramisa Sukha, Samisa Niramisa Dukkha, Samisa Niramisa Upekha, Samisa Niramisa Vimukti. So if you think Vimukti is there only in jhana, no. Even in sensuality, there is Vimukti. So don't be under blind impression that, oh, you know what, that is this, and that is that, and no, nothing like that. Okay. So if we start with the first section in that, which is most interesting, is about how does the piti come to be? In religious tradition, there is no explanation for joy. Samisa is when you go to an amusement park or you go to a movie or you eat something or you see something, you go somewhere. That's joy. It's true. But there is sukha. And when we really look at it, we have no way to understand the difference between the sukha, which is happiness, and joy, which is piti. We interchange it, but there is a difference. So, Ariu, I was just showing the today an example what we did in San Jose. When we went to the mall, we entered into the Apple store, and then we bought the Apple mobile phone. So going to the store is joy. Buying the mobile is sukha, happiness. The moment you touch the softness of that item, and that's the reason it is neatly organized, the box is so nicely packed, and all of that. Why do you do that? Is to get you sukha, the happiness. If it was not packed in that way, you wouldn't feel happy. So the packaging matters. So when a boy and a girl is getting married, the packaging matters. So then you have a big and pomp and all of that, and then so much of food and so much of liquor, so much of dressing and so much of makeup. All of that is required because you ultimately want to be happy. All of this you are doing to make it happy. So when you eat it, when you see it, when you hear it, when you taste it, when you touch it, and when you smell it, it makes you feel happy. So when a person marries, he marries not another, or I can say vinyana, he marries a body, actually, because the beauty is in the body. The beauty is not there in the person. As long as the person is able to deliver what he or she has promised, marriage is pretty good. And that's what is happiness all about. So if I say I'm a happily married person, it means the other, the spouse, is exactly delivering what this person. And when that doesn't happen, it becomes a burden to carry. Because I fell in love with the girl for two things. One is the body, obviously. Another one is her nature. On that day, that nature, what she carried, made me feel, wow, this one thing I need to have. So that gave me joy. This one thing. And when I proposed to her and she accepted, the very fact she accepted gave me sukha because the suffering is gone. I was having anxiety. I was having an expectation. And then I wanted that product. And she said, even I wanted you because you're the best person I ever met. Wow, what a chemistry. And it turns into biology. This is what we want anyway. So we have all have done that. If you question why did you do it, it did it for happiness. That is samisa sukha. So first you get joy, and then when you possess it, and then you get happiness. Since you got happiness, you don't want to give it to others because it's your happiness. So we say, don't spoil my happiness because you are literally, that person is literally pulling out the plug, which is not good. Okay. So please understand, you require two people or two things to get happiness. One, the subject, two, the object. This kind of seeing life is called duality. So Buddha teaches non-dual, the single. There's nothing dual about it. Okay? And Dveda Vitaka Sutta and so many other suttas talk about dualities. There are a lot of suttas on duality. So he cuts dualities. There's no duality of existence. Like in Chula Vedala Sutta, the duality is gone. And in the Mahavedala Sutta, again, the duality is gone. Basically, we can see that through this, na manye, na manni, ne manni, manni, no manni, no manni, we say that, it means the duality is gone. And another mantra, what he uses very well is eso na mama, eso na hamasmi, eso na me atta. If you take it to be real, it becomes dual, subject object relationship. So basically, the subject remains, the object is absent, and then the subject is no longer needed. Subject being these six senses, object being the sense doors, the senses coming, or the sense object coming in contact with the sense door. If you were to cut the senses going behind the sense objects, or you cut the sense object coming into the sense door, then you have achieved the seven things which he speaks. Nibiddhaya, viragaya, nirodhaya, upasamaya, abhinyaya, sambodhaya, nibbānaya. So he cuts these 24 things, which is normal misconceptions. So the sekha comes out of it. So having understood the samisa, that there is a joy, there is happiness, joy is joy, happiness is happiness, joy need not convert to happiness, and happiness need not have to relate to joy. As an example, which I was talking yesterday, when I go to Brisbane and here I land, maybe I'll have Toblerone, and then we open up the box. That opening up the box is the beautiful thing. Just like Ari, if you remember how the Apple box is, right? So then they are packaged in such a way, and they say that, sir, this is for you to open it. And even though I told that Albert, that why don't you open? He said, no, sir, you're supposed to open it. Why? Because that's where the happiness is. So when you cut open the foil, like I and Bobby are going to do it, the mouth watering starts the moment you cut open the foil. And the desperation starts. When will I open the silver foil? So here I go and cut the silver foil. And then one piece in the mouth. That's exactly what I want. Same thing with a girlfriend and a boyfriend. Outer cover, the garment. So first you deck it up to remove everything, whatever was decked up. Then it makes sense. Correct? If it was covered up, don't like it. So first you have to cover it up. Like that Apple box. He could have just given me the phone. No. That's the box. It's packed. Sir, see, sir, it's packed. It's this one. Why so much of drama? But otherwise, he will lose his job. So he acted, he showed like this, then, sir, please open it. Yes.
In this example, where's the joy and where's the happiness?
You tell me, my dear friend, you have come with me. You tell me. Yesterday we had this 1 hour fight on where is the happiness and where is joy.
That store person continuously giving a next thing to enjoy. As soon as you get a phone, you get a first level. I'm giving answer to that yesterday's question. Sorry.
Okay. No,
Let's
no
discuss
worries.
anything. No problem.
No worries. Are you, we landing up in the store is joy. He giving you the mobile in your hand is happiness.
So are you saying the joy is the expectation oriented one, or?
I don't know what do you mean by joy. If you say it is piti, means joy. How do you get a joy? You get a joy when what you wanted to desire is met. That's joy. That's the reason Buddha uses 6 things there. Itta, Kanta, Manapa, Kamupasamhita, Piyarupa, Rajaniya. I don't know if you've forgotten. Yesterday, all of these guys got blasted. So now you get ready for another set of blasting. Okay? You should know when we talk sensuality, it is these 6 things. If you miss these 6 things, you have not understood sensuality. Always remember these 6 things. Ittha, Kanta, Manapa, Kamupasamhita, Piyarupa, Rajaniya. This should be there. Yep. So now if you want to know what are those 6 things, I'm not going to explain to you because we have spent days and days on that subject. So there is no sensual experience, my dear friend, if you don't have ittha itself, liking. Meaning, why are we discussing so much in that Brahmacharya discussion forum about one watch? Because Bobby doesn't like it. Itta is not there. So there is no Kanta, there is no Manapa, there is no Kamupa Samhita, there is no Piyarupa, there is no Rajaniya. I am enticing him. Bobby, buy it. He says, no, I will not buy it. So he is going in circles saying that, why don't you buy? I have an Android phone. Get me a watch which will be good for Android. And we are all Apple users. We say, forget your Android. Look at Apple. So we looked at Garmin watch and this watch and that watch, and Bobby still not decided. Why? Because the first thing itself did not work. Ether. Yes.
And that's where the chanda is, right? That's where the dopamine is.
Yes, that's where the dopamine is. And unfortunately, Bobby's dopamine, which is there in Tobler 1, is not coming in that watch. Even though his wife has suggested that for our anniversary, I will get you this iPhone and Apple Watch, he says, no. Breaking the heart of his wife in pieces. This no means no. What do we do? And the amount of discussion we are having in that Brahmacharya forum exactly shows that. You're trying to entice him like Mara, saying that, please take it. No.
He's already in viraga.
He's in Viraga. He's in Nirodha, right?
Apple is going to bring Tobler edition, special edition for him.
Yeah. And then Nirodha has happened. He is not getting any interest over it. So no matter how much we try and say that, Bobby, you should go for iPhone. No, Vilas ji, I don't want iPhone.
I think everybody in that wherever shop I have gone in is in your side. So that much is sure, everybody is recommending Apple and Apple Watch and everything because they all have it.
It's not about they all have it. If you really see, the HRV monitor is good in Apple Watch. Whether you accept to it or reject to it, I don't know, but that's the truth. No matter.
Yeah, they are confused about that. They're not sure. They are searching in the internet and they couldn't find out. It is there, or it may not be on demand. It's only night time. So for different models, nobody is sure about it because this feature itself, they are not very familiar with it.
Yep. So,
But I'm pretty sure, Bobby. I did a lot of research and I found the feature, and it on the phone you can see it, not on the watch. So if you did that snapshot thing on the phone only, you can.
anyway,
Okay.
leave it. So now coming back to this subject. So we went to the Apple store. And we also went to that other store, Bobby, where we wanted to have a pastry. Going to the store front is joy. That's the reason the mall is created in that way. It's joy. They're giving you joy. Like when you enter a plane, there is joy. Before you sit, there's joyous. But when you sit, you get a business seat. That effect what you get is sukha. Let's say our friend Aryu would have thought, why make our teacher struggle? I'll get him a business class. Let's say, or Bobby, if you had thought this poor teacher of ours who is coming as a poor person,
Chartered plane.
let me give him a business class ticket. You would have made him feel so sensuous that he would just touch that upholstery and then it's, wow, what a sukha, right? That's sukha. That's exactly happiness. Yeah. So one needs to experience joy and happiness. That's samisa. Now you can say, why samisa? Isn't that joy as a joy? Isn't that sukha as a sukha? It has craving because it just goes away like this. So you want it back again. Right? See, it's like this. In 97, for the very first time, I was introduced to America because of Y2K coming up later that year, 99, and a lot of systems require reboot and other things. So since I was very much interested in computer programming, the only place which this idiotic thing could happen was in America. So I started my career in 94. I could have taken some other field, but I chose, at that time it was called as Management Information System, MIS. It was never called as a computer or whatever that is today, or information technology. It was called MIS. So as it, I started dreaming the joy place, the place which would give me utmost joy is America. So if I take 97 when it started, in fact, I told Anjana, when we were supposed to get engaged, even the engagement had not happened, Bobby. I'd asked her, are you okay if we settle down in America? And she said, wherever you want, I'll settle. So if I take 97 when I met her, it's America. So few days ago, she's saying you're not excited of Australia at all. Which seems to be true because she has seen me meditating on America almost every other day. Right? So 99, I applied for a job in America. Okay. Pennsylvania. I got the job, but through an agent. And he couldn't process H1B visa for whatever reason. Y2K thing, I got selected. Then he said, you come here, we will do things for you. So he had some suite number, so and all that. And then he was supposed to get the H1B visa process. So I sent him the document. It didn't, for whatever reason, didn't happen. I was terribly upset in 98 or early 99, I could say. Why? 6 things. Itta, Kanta, Manapa, Kamupa, Samita, Piyarupa, Rajaniya. The last one didn't happen. Rajaniya, enticing. It's such an enticing place. In fact, in 98, after I got married, there was a Kannada movie by name America, America. I really got mad at seeing that movie and fell in love with Las Vegas. And the Hudson River and New York and all that, the places they show, I felt, wow, this is a place I need to be. Okay, it didn't work. So 97 it started. It took me 9 years to be in America. That was sukha. The first time I landed in O'Hare International Airport, beautiful experience. Dream come true. And for all that matters, the company had booked a limousine for me. I didn't know that anyone can book a limousine. I was under the impression that since I am coming, the company has booked. Okay, so I had a jolly ride of limousine. Okay. And when it dropped at my hotel, it was great experience. And the next day, the general manager of the company calls me saying that, hey, Vilas, we would like to meet you. Oh, the GM himself wants to meet me. Wow, even more better. So like that. So you see this, there's a difference between piti, joy, and sukha, happiness. So even if you see a salary hike, knowing that your salary will get hiked is joy, or you get promoted, joy. But when you really take that is when you eat it, basically, you are consumed it, and that's sukha. And why samisa? Because the first time I went to America, it didn't satiate me. I was in Indianapolis, then I was in Seattle. I fell in love with Denver. So all of that thing happened in 2006 only. It was fine. It was fun. And I had gone during the Christmas time. It was even more fun. I had all great things happening at once. This 9-year wait to be in a country of my wish came true. Okay. I had imagined how the Walmart would be. I'm inside Walmart. I was thinking how Target would be. I'm inside Target. I had imagined of buying something in Best Buy store. I was in Best Buy. Then I had thought about Orlando, of to go there and have a Disney World. Guess what? The user conference is in Orlando, Florida. Wow, this is great. Whatever I want is coming true, right? And that's sukha. Because you already have a piti, joy. And then I loved Las Vegas. So the first user conference was not in Las Vegas. We had in near Miami. So all I wanted was Miami Beach. Here you go. And second one in Orlando. Wow, great. And then I went for, I wanted to see how the car racing would be. Because US car racing is pretty decent and very good. I'm in Indy. Indianapolis is the place for Indy car racing, Indy 500. So my GM says, Vilas, come over. We'll go for a car racing. What? What is fun? Okay. So like that. You just wish it happens. Your wish, my command. So there's a joy of going and there is a sukha happening. Yes, Arya.
I'm trying to see if I understand it properly. Because even though I think in science they say that someone buys an iPhone online, the highest dopamine is secreted when he, finish the purchase. That's when the expectation is the highest. You know he's gonna get it. So that moment is the highest joy because his anticipation.
When it is converted, when the joy is converted, and then you take the highest of it, right? So there's a desperation. You get your desperation point. So you should come into the desperation point. When you get into desperation point and you get it.
So that dukkha, immediately removal of dukkha gives you that joy. And afterwards,
Sukha, the dukkha going away gives you sukha.
Okay.
Otherwise, my dear friend Ariyu will be spending 1 hour plus on this idiotic discussion between piti and sukha. In fact, today morning, Anjana got a little bit of beating on the same subject. So then I had to beat you black and blue in a few minutes, which I am okay to do so. It's very simple, Aryu, instead of doing all of that fun. It's like this. I showed you are tracking that plane, right, on the photo, right? There is a excitement, right, of me coming there. Is an excitement or not? If you go behind that excitement, what is there? There is anticipation. If you go behind that anticipation, what is there?
Anxiety or
Just try.
excitement?
There is an excitement, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I need to play this game with you also. Okay, go. This is the flight you're tracking, AI 175. Now, what made you track this?
Anticipation.
Yes, there's excitement, there's anticipation. Isn't that joy coming as you are doing this, or is the sukha coming in as happiness?
No, no, sukha.
Not sukha, right? The plane is coming near San Francisco, so you're feeling joy. You're not feeling sukha, right? You're not getting sukha. Clear? Okay, good. So don't ask me this again. So we'll go to this. This idiot comes here. Okay. Is it giving you joy or is it giving you happiness? This scene.
Happiness.
No. It is still joy of seeing the person landed early. If the flight was delayed for 3 hours, what would have happened? Your sukha, your happiness is moved by 3 hours. You got the point. You are no longer worried about the joy because he's already in the flight. So the joy is done. Now, hold on a second. We'll go to the next frame. You see here, now there is joy or there's happiness in that person. It's none. In this person, there's none. Right? And in the other person, what is this? Is it happy or joy?
Happy.
Happy. Because you got what you wanted. Now, why was Chirag in non-explainable position? He couldn't, he was frozen. You're saying your eyes look something and all that he started. But why? Because he was so overjoyed that he couldn't believe. It's just like a celebrity coming and talking to you and you feel like that. Right? You can see this in the photograph. Who is smiling the most is you, or laughing, or whatever you're showing there. Your teeth, in fact, would have fallen down. The amount of teeth you're showing. Right? So if you see, this is the difference between a sensual joy and a sensual happiness. Yes.
Yeah, I think I was trying to get to a similar point earlier because I think when you finish the purchase, you know you're gonna get it. In that moment, you have dopamine coming, and that gives you the joy.
Again, you're wrong. If there's no happiness, then the dopamine doesn't do anything to you. It has to convert to happiness. See, Harry, you're doing everything for happiness. There is joy, but there is happiness. Otherwise, then there's no need for a first jhāna and second jhāna at all. Right? If that is where we take the recourse and say that no, they both are same, then there's no differentiation. There's no need to be differentiating, because if there is no sensual joy and happiness, how can there be a non-sensual joy and happiness? Right? Think it over. So few steps back, few step backs, if I go even before this, there's just a joy. Can you say that dopamine started here? Yes. Little bit of secretion happened of dopamine, but not fully, because the day you were waiting for has come. So the person in question is in Bangalore, sitting in the flight, and San Francisco is 13,000 and odd kilometers from this place. Yep.
Can I say then I put it equal between joy and excitement?
Excitement, when it is met, creates joy. So you are excited to see me. So at this moment, when you're tracking, there's joy. Certainly, there is no happiness. Because unless you get the product in your hand, there can't be any happiness. Unless you get the promotion in your hand, there can't be any happiness. Unless you get the salary hike in your hand, there can't be any happiness. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess maybe the dopamine thing is not proper, but when this person hit the purchase button, he see it coming. That's joy, not happiness, right?
We'll take another example. You book a thing on Amazon.
Yes.
There's a joy that you found the product, but you are not happy till it arrives, because that anxiety still continues.
Okay. That's what I was trying to say. That's joy. Like when you just bought it and you know it's coming. That's joy.
That's joy, but there's no happiness, is what I'm trying to clarify to you.
Yeah, yeah. I also was thinking that, but I was using this word dopamine. And I think
Yeah. So that's the reason when you say the dopamine, it would be happiness, not joy.
I see.
Got it? So this is the starting point. Okay, when there's joy, then you're keeping things ready for me. And then you're tracking, wow, it's near San Francisco now. And it's estimated to land at 4:04 p.m. Okay, it's almost flying. And it is, I think, Redwood City, yeah. So we are Milpitas, and then we are landing in San Francisco as per this what we can map, right? So it took a turn, and so your waiting time is reducing. So now there is, the joy is gone, and you no longer you're carrying joy. You're now waiting for the happiness to arrive. So then you are in a state of transitory between the joy and happiness. Then you find the flight is landed, because this Air India staff is coming out. So you know that this guy is going to come pretty soon. And then there he comes. And here is the culmination of that. And the remaining things doesn't make any sense now. Right? And that happiness had to take 18 hours to reach. And that is suffering, endless suffering. Correct? If we know this, that there is dukkha in the sukha, will you then go behind the sukha? You had to wait 18 hours, and I have to wait so many years. And for coming there, I need to go twice to Chennai to get the visa, because your happiness is in the consulate. It's up to the consulate to give me the visa. And my anxiety is on the visa, let's say, which I had first time when I went for the visa. Is so much anxiety, so much of worry, so much of tension. And when they said, congratulations, your visa is approved, that is happiness, because relief from suffering is happiness. So Nibbanam Paramam Sukham. This is temporary sukha. Got the visa. I had called my company saying that, hey, you know what? I got the visa. And I got the visa on November 2nd. I flew on November 18th. They already booked the ticket. Just like what you had done. You booked the ticket even before the visa. So they also had done the same thing. They booked the ticket before the visa. So the dream come true. Now I don't mind flying from Bangalore to Frankfurt. Wait for 4.5 hours. Take another flight and fly to O'Hare International Airport. Then finish the immigration and all that. Wait for another 6 hours flight to Indianapolis, which takes it more than 27 hours of leaving Bangalore in total. Okay. And that's funny. To get your beloved, you had to wait 9 years and 27 hours. My beloved America. Yes.
So could I understand it this way, that this mechanism of getting happiness, at least in the worldly way, is that this joy gets you hooked, right? And then you have to wait, because you get the joy because it tells you that happiness is coming. So you get the joy, and then
you look at Christmas. The idea of celebration is joy. But when you get those gifts, Santa Claus giving you gifts, isn't that happiness? So you're waiting desperately. What will I get as a gift? Right? So people go to the shop, they buy it, they pack it, and they keep it to be opened up on the Christmas Eve. So why that? We put this on the car also. Unloaded happiness. Tons of happiness. All these words are used. Why? Because your suffering comes to an end. I have put you in tremendous suffering. It just comes to an end. Like when I wanted to buy Nintendo Wii some years ago, 2008, Nintendo game was most popular. I saw it in my colleague's home, and he said that, Vilas, you need to buy Wii. And I was in a buying spree. Anything you say, please buy. And that's it. There's no second thought. Okay. So what I did, at that time, Nintendo had a rule, only one per person. So I wanted to buy that hardware, Nintendo. And along with that comes some games, videos. And the fun part is in Indianapolis, there are around 9 stores of Best Buy. The one nearest to our office didn't have. Now, what do? I want it, but it's not there. But Nintendo, I have fallen in love. There's a joy of seeing Nintendo, but happiness is not coming. So my other colleague, looking at my desperation, he said, Vilas, I'll take you to another Best Buy store, but it's around 20 miles here. Okay, how much time? Around half an hour drive. I told him, if you don't mind. No, we'll go, don't worry. After office hours, we'll go. On that day, his wife called up. He went home. So my happiness got ruined by one day now. And the next day, he didn't come. The second day out, my happiness, right? And on third day he came. I told him, shall we go? He said, no, Vilas, you know what? Why go on a weekday? We'll go on a weekend. We'll go on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. Having waited this long, it will be there, Vilas. Don't worry. You'll get it. Before you fly this place, we'll ensure that you have the Nintendo Wii. I said, okay. But my happiness is delayed by another few more days. Already I am suffering. This idiot can't understand that I'm suffering. I can't even show my suffering. I said, yeah, sure. Then on a Friday evening, I thought there is one Best Buy store near my home. I was staying in an apartment. I thought, why don't I walk through there? It's 2.5 miles. Anyway, what's that I'm going to do going into the room? So I just walked in there. As for Nintendo Wii, he said, we have. You have? Okay, I want to buy it. I said, so go and buy. So I called up my friend saying that, you know what, I'm just happened to be in Best Buy store. Okay, if you wouldn't mind, can I go ahead and buy this? He said, whatever gives you happiness. I was telling to myself, I'm getting happiness right now. I don't want to wait any longer that tomorrow you're going to come. No, I'll go and buy now. So like an idiot, I bought Nintendo Wii, carrying that heavy thing to my home, to the room. And after 2 days, he says, Vilas, if you had waited for me, I would have also asked you to buy yoga. Nintendo has a good yoga thing. I'll show you first. Shucks. Now that interest on that Nintendo Wii went away. Now is the yoga. So I played, and then it was showing my physical age and that age and this and that and so many different things. And then you can have those me's, they call it me, which is nothing but this avatar and all that. So you can put all of that. It was looking great. And then I told him, do you want to buy Vilas? I said, yes. Oh, so let's go to the Best Buy store. So he drove me to the same store where he had told me he would be taking. And I bought that one. I could have bought that along with this hardware. See, another thing, I wouldn't have put it on the TV to play there. It would have anyway remained in my bag till I come back to Bangalore. Yes.
But your suffering was cut short by a few days. So
Exactly. That's what I wanted to show to you. The sukha means coming out of suffering. Always remember this. Joy means anticipating the removal of suffering. You understand the point? That's why I was driving to these guys yesterday, and they were giving me some stupid answers. Even if I had given them answers the previous day when we met, I gave all of these, they didn't pick up. So I was so upset yesterday that you come totally unprepared. That's unfair. I've given you an assignment to do it on Sunday, and you come just casually. That's not allowed. That's for your own good, not for me. Yes, Bobby.
Well, see, this same thing is happening. I don't know whether we have enough time. It's happening in this meditation also, right? So, in the jhanas, in the second jhana, this vichara vidaka is gone, and then pidi happens. So, in the second jhana, actually, only this anticipation is there because it is in the sugha happens in the third one, right? So, similarly for the seven factors of enlightenment, also this pidi, then pasadi comes.
Yes.
So mostly always in this order it happens.
Yes.
So now when the pidi is there, I read or I also felt somewhere it is mostly related to some kind of mental joy or something, and then
Hold on
happiness
for a
is.
second. We are still not come to Niramisa at all. So I don't want to take that right now.
Oh, okay.
We are still
Yeah.
in Samisa. So tomorrow
Samisa.
we'll do the Niramisa. So I forgot to tell you, I mean at home. I think you've seen the setting. So you don't have to record.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
I'm recording, but I know I saw it and I know.
Okay. So the thing is, you should know Samisa completely. Then we can go into Niramisa. If you don't even know Samisa, what's the point in knowing Niramisa in a theoretical sense? Doesn't make any sense. So when we understand Samisa, okay, then we exactly know what's happening. Why you should get into jhāna. Because this suffering is too much. Like a 9-year, 27 hours is too much. And thinking on America for 9 long years. And hence, cutting America this time was an achievement. The thing which I loved, meaning it was dream place to be, and cutting that dream into pieces and checking did I ever do it correctly. I wanted to test it. So I hope I did it. That's what I feel. I think Ariu can say that because he was the observer to that. Yes, Bobby.
Yes, you and like what you are saying. What I understand is that when this joy is there, it is also a kind of a positive emotion or a pleasant,
Yeah, it
type.
is. It is.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
now, till you get that happiness, it is a kind of anticipation, and you're waiting and all. So how that joy remains? It can go into some kind of negative emotion, right? Because
It wouldn't go. It wouldn't go.
Because you don't get that, you're just waiting.
Like
Sometimes.
then you put Annabelle and Ashley and think they are studying, so you have joy of their coming up, you have joy of their going here, there, and when they get their things done, you feel happy.
But that's what exactly I meant, because now if their joy comes, of course, but it is not continuous. Sometimes it doesn't happen like with the
See,
expectation. It turns.
sensual has no continuous appearance. Sensual is always sporadic, but yet there is joy, there is happiness. If you say there is no joy and happiness, that's wrong. It's sporadic, fine, but it is still. So, considering the limitation of joy and happiness in sensuality, we can take jhānic, meaning after we have seen that it is sporadic, After we've seen that it's limited, after we've seen that it might or might not happen, we can then look at jhāna. But we can't just push it aside, saying that, anyway, that doesn't have anything, let me go jhānic. It's not going to work. Most of the time, we fail in jhana because the mind has not let go of sensuality. That's the fact. So if you were to watch the breath, why it doesn't happen is because it has not let go of sensuality at all. It has taken it to be another task to be done. No matter how much you struggle to watch the breath, or you say this, I've been doing that, and all of that doesn't make sense because it's not seen any joy, it has not seen any kind of happiness. All that it knows that instantaneously you can get a joy and happiness. How? I want to prepare a tea now. It's joy to preparing tea. I'll just go across the road and buy an ice cream. It's joy in eating ice cream. I feel the urge of going and eating ice cream. So what do? Just drive there, buy an ice cream, put it in the mouth, which gives me sukha. Yes, it doesn't stay. That's who cares. I go and buy another thing. So as long as we have sensuality at the core, the jhana can never happen. So we need to understand then what is sensual pleasure in its entirety. See, when I see that it took me 9 years and 27 hours to reach the place where I wanted to be, then I can reflect upon and see, is there a better joy, a better happiness than going to America? And if there is, then the mind gives up because it has seen what it is getting in 10 minutes time took 9 years. So what gave it in 10 minutes time? I just put a stopwatch, watch the breath, and I do a HRV calculation. Superb. Isn't it the best joy than the sensual joy? Isn't it the best happiness than the mental this happiness of going to America? Yes, because you're creating it right now. Isn't it good to have an Apple Watch? Absolutely. Because your suffering comes to an end. You're searching for Garmin and this and that, you're extending pain, suffering. If I were you, I just go to Apple store. I have money, I just buy, put it on my this thing, press there itself, calculate HRV, sit for 10 minutes meditation, 5 minutes one session, and then 5 minutes another session. Done. Simple. That's all I would have done, to be honest. So what's the objective? Objective is to come out of suffering. Then why add further more suffering to the suffering? Already you're suffering. So why add even more suffering to that suffering and making it double suffering? Or throw the HRV itself, saying that I don't like to watch this HRV business. I will do perfectly how Buddha has recommended. Fine. Do 18 hours without any gadgets. Absolutely fair. But ensure you're on the breath. So there are only two choices there left: with motivation, without motivation, with dopamine, without dopamine. It's up to you. But in everything, there's dopamine. Jhānik has dopamine. So the senses. Jhānik has only dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and all of that. Endorphin. And another thing I forgot to tell you, there is a chemical called as anandamidi. Have you heard that? There is a brain chemical called anandamidi. Search for ANANDMIDE.
I think you shared that in the
Yeah,
group,
I
right?
shared. Yes, I shared in the group.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what it does? It gets you bliss. And that comes only when you're meditating.
Is it an English word or it comes from Ananda?
Ananda only. They have taken from Sanskrit word Ananda. That also I put it in that group. Yes, Aryu.
Yeah, earlier when at the beginning of the talk you're saying in these scriptures it doesn't talk about the difference between these two. I was thinking, what does Ananda corresponds to, more to joy or happiness, or
It is
both?
actually Ananda is Sukha, because Buddha doesn't use Ananda because that becomes a confusion. So what's the experience of Ananda is Sukha. There's relief from suffering. You don't suffer any longer. And there's a nice smile on your face, because it's like there's no pain, bodily and mental. And you think it over. A normal person flying from Bangalore to San Francisco, landing at a odd time, what he would have done, he would have come home, slept, next day also sleeping, that next day half asleep, then that next day he's functional. Yes or no? Did I ever have that? Did you see any change in me when I landed there? And we spent time till 12 a.m. in the morning. I've traveled so long. And what time did I wake up? 4 o'clock. Isn't that happiness? Non-worldly happiness. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, when you say that, in the suttas, many people, they have attained to higher stage, and then they're still, when they are in the they are suffering and gravely pain and everything is mentioned in a lot of suttas. So what does that mean?
There would be body problem will be there. There would be, unless you reach Arhat Phala Samapatti, it is going to be pain.
So, what is it is some supporting conditions are helping you, right? Because of your this attainment, that alone is not enough, right? Because you are naturally a healthy person, and you have a lot of so many qualities which helps you to be stay happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's the reason Buddha says in the Dhammapada, Arogyam Paramam Labam, Santuti Paramam Dhanam, Visvaso Paramo Natho, Nibbanam Paramam Sukham.
Yeah. So my question, my understanding is that it doesn't mean that two persons reached anagami, they both tend to be all smiling and all the time.
Why?
Right?
They can cut off the body pain. You can do that. They can do that.
But they have this understanding of what is that, nirodha samapati, right? Because
Without that,
some people,
without that, they can't even achieve anagami. Without
yeah,
Nirodha
okay.
Samapatti, there can't be any anagami at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I heard somewhere that you can be anagami, but this nirodha samapati is something which is a higher training or something, which everybody doesn't get it, because that one of my other friend was saying. But I don't know. I'm just saying. So
In the sutta, if you look at Chula Vedala Sutta, it's very clear. And if I take my own experience, I have experienced that way only. So you can't be an anagami without Nirodha Samapatti.
but you can be a sutapanna or sakidagami.
Yeah, that is fine. Nirodha Samapatti is only for two people. One is an anagami, one is an arhat. That's it. Only two
So
people.
all the anagamis will have this.
They should have simple. the rule of the thumb to know whether it's anagami or not, he should know how did he attain Nirodha Samapatti. He should be able to tell you step by step how did he do it.
So a person who attains have this Nirodha Samapatti, when he gets severe pain, he can just kind of
Cut off.
not pay attention to that, and
Cut off. He
just
can cut off.
yeah.
Animitta. He
Yeah.
can make animitta.
Because I heard in Thailand, one of the monk, I think I already told you, he was having a knee surgery for one right knee or something, and he didn't take any anesthesia or anything, and he had this surgery, and then somebody asked him how he could do that, because he was telling that he was focusing on the left knee, or I don't know, that's what he said, but he was having surgery on the right knee, and he was just focusing on the left knee or something. That's what he said. So it is something similar what you're talking.
Yes, see what happens. There are 3 ways of attaining that. And it depends on, here comes the ability to do so. But still, let's assume first level of Nirodha Samapatti is he's able to block all mental movements. That is, Kaya Sankhara, Vachi Sankhara, Mano Sankhara not being there. Then he attains the Nirodha Samapatti, a straightforward thing. Apart from doing that, you can cut off organs which you think you don't want it to function. And then what happens here is that it becomes like an anesthesia. There's no conscious experience of that organ or that part. The second level of Nirodha Samapatti, what you can attain. The third level of Nirodha Samapatti is when you can come out of the body and watch like somebody's body. So now you can do whatever you want with that body. So that's explained in Samanya Parasutta, the 4 jhāna. He says you can come out of the body and you can touch sun, you can touch moon, you can go here, you can multiply, blah, blah, all that, what is said. That is the Manomaya Kaya. So if you are able to develop that, done it. So yesterday I was explaining to Ramesh Babu on that. It's just a light. So you just come out of it and that's it. Then you're done.
Is it a psychic power or is it
It comes as part of that only. It's a Nirodha Samapatti. The first level Nirodha Samapatti is just your sankharas are no longer there. And that's what is there in Chula Vedala Sutta also. Okay. The second level is what you just now spoke. The third level is you just come out of the body. Yep.
Yeah, on a separate topic, I mean, based on what you're describing earlier, that the sukha is the freedom from dukkha. I think I start to understand why we're saying these people on spirituality, when they are on higher fruits, they have more Niramisasutta. It's not because they are studying getting something called sukha. It's because their mental suffering, their overall suffering is always keep on reducing. So as the reducing of their dukkha, then the happiness is there. So I'm
Exactly.
not getting something.
That's true. See, the pain I've undergone for 9 years plus 27 hours doesn't make sense. So when I sat in the flight, supposed to be starting at 2:10 p.m. as it is showing there, but it really left the ground at 2:37. If you really see there, if I was a normal person, I'm so anxious of reaching San Francisco. So I'm just checking like other people. They are looking at that screen and 13,864 kilometers to go, and then 16 hours, 17 minutes, and blah, blah. And then, okay, then he is put on the headphone and watching some serials and this and that and some movie. Till 11 hours, 44 minutes to go. Then again, he keeps it out. Then he walks there, give me a whiskey or this one and that beer or this. So he's suffering, right? He's asking all of that because of suffering. He cannot bear it. So he gets a joy of getting some food so that will give him sukha. But very soon his stomach is bloated. So now he has to go to the washroom. Okay, then he has to go to the...
Sukha from that too.
What's that?
And he gets sukha from the restroom too.
Yes, he gets a sukha from the restroom. And the person who was sitting next to me, he went 4 times to the toilet, not for the pissing, for that other one. I didn't go even once to the toilet, meaning to the,
I don't know how you know that it is not for it is for the other one.
because he has taken so much time to come out. Okay. So, and he's so much in stress. He keeps that here, then again takes that, and again keeps something here. He is moving here, there. He keeps the TV like this, then again bends it out, again takes it out. Then he is pressing this. Then that lady came, and we are in premium economy, so they have to keep on giving beer and whatever it is. He's saying one drink, and then he gets a drink. Then he's not happy with the beer. Then he took some other fruit drink. So then eating, and then again eating, again eating, again eating, again eating, eating and eating and eating and eating. Okay, that's the only joy and that's the only happiness right now. Whereas the person sitting next to him,
Did he have any conversation with you?
only when he
Okay.
sat, I just said to him, he was saying, I was speaking to Anjana, so he heard me talking in Kannada. So he spoke to me in Kannada. Oh, yeah, where are you from? And then I said, I'm from here. Oh, you're going to San Francisco? I said, yes, very much. Obviously, the flight is going to San Francisco. Where else will it go? I didn't tell him that.
People can transfer. So, I mean, it's a fair question.
But it's a direct flight anyway. So the thing is, then I asked him, where do you stay? He said, in Bangalore, this is the place he stays. And then he had kept a bag so that he can put his leg and stretch his leg, something like that. And then some fun. And other people in that premium economy, they are going here, there. You can see the suffering. I was just seeing suffering and suffering and suffering. There's nothing else in suffering.
I think he could have benefited a lot if you have sufficient amount of wisdom, right? Because
Exactly.
it is like Buddha says, if a spoon which is always staying in a curry, he cannot taste it. The spoon cannot taste it.
Exactly. Very true. So yesterday we had that experience. Sorry, when I landed, when I was traveling, I was having a fun ride, and the air hostess go walking here, there, and all that. Then after next day of India, right? So then we are gone back. So I was talking to the. It was just 45 minutes to land. Oh, sorry, 1 hour to land. I just took a walk, and then I was talking to the crew, asking them, how do you find Air India and this one, that one, and just some talk. And then they said, can I help you with something? I said, yeah, you can give me tea if you can. And I said, okay, yeah, here's the tea. That's it. Then landing in San Francisco, that's it. Done deal. How that entire hours of 16 hours went, didn't know. No strain, no suffering. The energy didn't go anywhere. So when I landed, not feeling heavy or whatever, or jet lagged, because you're in the jet for so long.
Did you sleep for some time, Vilashi?
No, I didn't. You ask him.
No sleeping, 16 hours.
The flight, no.
No.
No
So
sleeping.
16 hours, no sleeping at all.
I'm going to do the same thing from here to Brisbane.
Okay. Yeah, we all want to do that, but we'll keep trying.
Sleeping is not the sleeping of the sleeping without waking. It's a wakeful sleep.
That's why Vilas is aware of what the next door person is doing, right? I mean, he's not knowing anything yet. He's aware of it.
I'm aware of everything happening around, Bobby. It's not that I was not aware. I was seeing everything happening. But I'm just half closed eyes. I'm watching that Just going there, coming, and then some discussion, some TV, some this one, some drama, all that. I'm just watching it. And if that was not true, Bobby, how much faking I could have done to air you that I'm feeling okay. I sat in the car. Are you how things?
Yeah, definitely he would have picked you.
Sufficient. Then forget that. We
Because you were saying you were in sleep and why you are yawning?
yawning, and then I would have become unresponsive. So from behind, Chirag is speaking, the front, Harry is speaking, and then we are driving, and then we first went to our home, his home. Then we went and met his wife. Then we went to Chirag's home, and we had a lot of discussions. It wouldn't have happened. I would have stopped. And then Harry would have come to know, here comes our fake teacher. He said he is not going to sleep. He made an announcement. And now we see our teacher snoring. And then I say, you know what? I was in deep meditation. It would have been fun.
You are welcome to hear sort of my snoring and sleep talking and everything.
That's okay. I have got no problem with anyone. So I was aware. Why I was saying to Ari also, I was aware that I'm making a statement. If proven false, it's not good for me. Whether Ari comes to know or not, it is a bad karma. I knew I can do it. And while coming back also, I did that. Not only while going, coming back. Same.
On the
No,
same
Buddha,
day,
Buddha, sorry.
no, I was thinking on the same day back, I think you went to work.
Work, yes, I went to work.
Yeah, like Vilashi, like Buddha also says in many suttas, right? Falsely claiming all these things is a very big offense, right?
Yes, yes.
Than breaking the 5 basic precepts, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I know. When somebody is like claiming this type of things, I think he's putting it all. That's what I would say is that we are very lucky. He is putting a lot of things to his students, to examine, because many teachers I have met, they don't say all those things, and because this is very closely monitored. To find some photo, you told that like this and why you were like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
If I were Ari, I would have first asked, did you fall asleep? No. Then why are you falling asleep now? And I would have given an excuse. You know what? It was a bumpy ride. For you, a bumpy flight ride? You mean to say? You feel bumpy in the flight? That's true. No, it was turbulence. You feel turbulence. You shouldn't feel anything, right? Nirodha Samapatti means what? No perception, no feeling. How can you feel a bumpy ride? That teacher would be see what to say now. And then that will break the faith of the student because he's been taken for a ride. So I was aware of what I was saying. And I also told him the moment I land, check it over. Simple. And he was sleeping anyway next to me. He would have found out. Every day he would have found out what this idiot is all about. Right?
I think very very rarely anybody gets this opportunity to closely monitor the teacher.
So it's no point. I mean, you do it, you do it. You don't do it, don't say it. You can say, I'll try to do it. That makes sense. Even while coming, Bobby, it's 1 day loss, right? So I'm starting on Monday in the US, but I'm on Wednesday when I land. Tuesday is gone, right? And I went to work as though nothing has happened. It didn't seem that I took on a flight. You know what? By 6 a.m., the bag was empty. I have kept it back. Oh, it didn't even seem that I never ever went to US. That's it. So now I'm going to do the same thing. Repeat telecast in Australia.
Like, it is so amazing because when we all travel, it takes many days to come out of that. For when you come here, or when you go to India, it doesn't have that much effect. But when we come back and return the journey, this tiredness is there.
Yeah, so it will be interesting for you to see when I land in Brisbane, because I'm flying to Sydney to Brisbane, and I'm landing in afternoon. Okay, so it's 6:20, I think, whatever the time on Wednesday here, and I'm reaching on Friday. Oh, sorry, Thursday afternoon. So 4.5 hours behind. Like Thursday morning, India time is when I would have landed. So it would be interesting for you to see what's the difference. Any flight above 6 hours, there'll be difference because of the cabin pressure. If I can cut the cabin pressure plus the daylight, then I should be fine. Because there's a night in India, but then it's early morning, even before the dawn has happened. At least going to the US is fine, but coming back to India is tough. And the same thing would happen now coming to the east. I'm coming on this was west and that's east. So it would be an interesting experience of losing 4.5 hours plus 12. Let's see. I'm in game for that. Let's see who wins. Okay, so I think we can end for today. So this is the Samisa Niram, the Samisa side of it. We have not taken Niramisasutta, Niramisa Piti. We will take that tomorrow so that you can understand and how and why you should get into jhana. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I see, like in the middle of your talk, you are talking about this Swami, some word in Hindi. So in Mala, there is a word called sammisra. Sammisra means a mixed feeling. So you are saying
Sammishrana.
something.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is a Sanskrit word sammishrana. In Malayalam also sammishrana. Then in
Yeah.
Kannada
So
also
that
sammishrana. Yeah, same thing.
So there is a mixed feeling. Mixed
feeling.
feeling.
It's already
Okay.
mixed up.
And what is that? Niramisa, Nirmesha or something is there in
Yes.
Malayalam. Nirmesha.
Yes.
So that is no mixed. It is more
No
pure.
mix. No mix. Pure.
Yes.
Mishra means combine, joined, something. So what is combined? Raga Dvesha is combined with this. That's the problem. Because there's craving to go back and enjoy. See, let's take this example. Aryu calls me again. If I'm a normal person, I'll jump. He said, you asked me to come? That feeling is joy. Thank you, Aryu. Oh, is that, oh, you're going to meet again. Oh, so nice. So, when are you booking the ticket? Because now the desperation starts. The sukha is not there, right? So now the suffering has started. So I'm going to ask him, when are you booking the ticket? Vilas, give me a break. Give me 2 days at least. I'll get back to you. Please do that, okay? I'm not forcing you, but I'm just requesting you. You can say directly, boss, I'm in suffering. Get me a ticket, please. So what we do, we go in circles. We just use English or some language to make it look, very, what we can say, very courteous, but it's not. I'm actually suffering. So the moment Aru sends me a ticket, sukha of catching the ticket, but still not enjoyed, right? So again it starts. Again get in the plane. But that doesn't help. Then you have to go and land. And then every day is gone. Then to fly back. So the tears. Soka parideva dukkha domana supayasa sambhavanti. Evameva kevalassa dukkha khandassa samudayo hoti. Yes, Ari.
I think the worst part is when you get it, you get the sukha. But when you're with them, there's no sukha.
There's
'cause
no
you're
sukha.
taking for granted. But when they leave, you have pain.
Yes, exactly. That's the fun part of it. Yeah. That's all what it is. I married because I thought sukha has come next to me, but it's not. It's pain multiplied. Now, what to do? Anyway, that's life. Okay. Good day and good night and good afternoon. See you.